9426 or visit at 3602 North Cape Court, Suite 23 in New Albany.
Welcome in. Good afternoon. It's the Ticket Punchers here on 96.1 FM, 1450 AM, Big X Sports Radio. I'm your host, Roman Kelly, joined today by my two co-hosts here on the Ticket Punchers, Curtis Phillips and J.R. Anderson, as we take you down till 6 o'clock here on the Big X like we do every Tuesday through Friday. If you haven't already, go follow us on X at Ticket_Punchers, where you can catch all of our official punches, our jabs, our leans, our uppercuts, whatever type of picks you want from us. That's where we get them all out every day. Fellas, thank you so much for getting in here today. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll start with you, JR. How was your weekend? How are you feeling? How about them Cards? What's going on, JR?
Feeling good, man. Go Cards, and, ready to get back in the saddle this week and get back on the winning side of things. How you fellas doing?
I'm feeling great. How about you, Curtis?
Doing good, man. Got to go trick-or-treating Friday, which was fun. Haven't been, in about 10 plus years. So got to take the kiddo to that. Also got to see my Bears play in person Sunday versus the Bengals. So that was, pretty electric game to watch. So I had a pretty good weekend.
Going to see your Bears play the Bengals. That's super exciting. That one kind of came down to the wire there a bit.
Oh, yeah, it did. Yes.
Always nice getting to watch your team in person there. That's fun. But, yeah, the Cards get the win on Saturday against Virginia Tech. And then, of course, last night against SC State. Basketball ranked, football ranked. As three Cards fans here on the Ticket Puncher Show, we love that. We're excited about what's to come from our Cards teams going forward. And we're going to be hopefully being able to make a little bit of money on some of our players this season with some official punches. But, fellas, we had a bit of an emergency random show yesterday, as the Mondays with Dalton Pinch show here on the Big X did have a late cancellation to it. We were able to get on from 5:30 to 6. We gave a few picks out. We gave some props out. We had producer Matt joining us yesterday because JR was a bit busy. Let's just recap the weekend of JR's picks, because we didn't get him on a recap yesterday because it wasn't typically the normal day. JR, what's the record sitting at after the first month of the Ticket Puncher Show in October, and how did your weekend go? Or I guess, how did your weekend go in terms of your bets? And then let us know how the October month rounded out for your official record.
Yeah, for the weekend, I believe we went 7-3, give or take. I know I don't count the parlays, but 7-3 on the straights. For the month, I believe we finished somewhere around 32-18, something like that. I haven't calculated the last 5 or 6, but I think out of those, I only missed one. So I think I have an additional 5 wins on there. But yeah, I'll have an official record for us tomorrow. But yeah, the weekend was really good. We only had a few losses. I believe lost 2 legs by the touchdown from Georgia. I know y'all covered that yesterday, where we took the kneel when he had the wide open touchdown. So we lost that leg. And then I believe we lost another points and rebounds leg by literally 2. So overall, we're still in the 60th percentile for wins. So I'll take it.
Always going to take that. Always going to take that. Fellas, we've got a handful of different things on tonight. All kinds of stuff we can get into. Obviously, the World Series does get wrapped up. We did make a little bit of money. Shout out to Philly, giving us a few winners there in that series as well. But we've got college football on, college basketball on, NBA basketball on tonight. We've got it all. I want to get into what we're looking into tonight. Unfortunately, the 3-leg from Friday didn't hit, but we're going to continue that on this Friday. We're going to prepare our picks for that Friday game or for that Friday parlay all week long, and kind of talk about the picks that we're maybe going to have on that Friday parlay this week as well, just because we're going to try to make the picks on the Friday parlay a Saturday or Sunday while it's still football season, make the 3-leg football picks for Saturday. So, or for the Friday 3-leg for the weekend picks. we're going to get into that as well if you guys have anything you're maybe looking at early here in the week. But I want to get right into it tonight. I don't feel like we necessarily do a whole lot of recapping on the college basketball season opening up last night. Obviously, we saw a lot of good. We saw a lot of positives. A lot of the freshmen we expect to be big name players this season, showing that they are going to be big name players this season. But I don't know about you guys, unless you're super in tune with two specific teams that are coincidentally playing each other, the discrepancy in all these matchups is really hard to get a good read on just because there's so many new parts on all these teams, right? One thing you can kind of do is what are the teams that do have the continuity? What are the teams that we can know the play style that's expected from them, the product that they're going to be putting out of the court, whatever we're expecting from them? What teams have it already looking the closest to what it's going to look like right now, right? And the only way you really get that is teams that have that good continuity carrying over. Are you guys interested in betting anything in college basketball here in week one out in those big spread kind of matchups, right? We do have a good top matchup, not necessarily top 25, but Texas, a team that's projected to be a good team, not a pushover team by any means, a team that was ranked at times last season as well, going up against Duke tonight. That is one big matchup. But outside of that, there's not a lot of crazy top team matchups. How are you guys addressing this first week of college basketball and the way you're going about betting? We'll start with you, Curtis, if you've got anything.
Yeah, so I'm really just more so just monitoring, how these teams are, coming out, especially like your bigger Power 5 schools, how you're coming out against the, lower class, D1, D2, and D3 schools. So I've been eyeing some more so team totals than the big spread. Although we saw, a handful of, your bigger schools cover yesterday, Louisville being one, just blowing out SC State. A good way, I think you could, if you don't want to, watch the whole game with those big spreads, maybe cut them in half. Usually your first half spread is going to be slightly higher than about half of what your full game spread is going to be. So that's more so how I'm taking, my approach, the first couple of weeks in the college basketball slate.
All right, we're going to see if you've got anything that you're not. Well, I know you've got some things ready, but we're going to get into a couple of things you're looking into specifically here tonight. JR, what about you? How do you address the first week of college basketball?
I typically, wait to. Formerly, we used to have things like the Bahamas tournament and stuff like that, so we could assess the top tier talent, right off the bat. We don't really have anything like that currently. So, this year is going to be a little bit different, especially with, the more NIL money starts to get infused to it. Anybody can beat anybody. So I'll typically chill the first few games until they play somebody formidable. The one leg that I do like for tonight is Duke minus 10.5. Minus 125. So I do like Duke over Texas. That's probably the only thing I'll touch for the week on college.
Yeah, producer Matt already took we did a producer parlay. Obviously, he is a producer here at Big X, as am I. Another producer of the Big X, Justin Kalen, co-host of the 7 to 8 a.m. show. He texted and he said, fellas, let's build a little producer parlay out of each of us giving the 3 picks for tonight's games, whatever you may want them to be. Justin gave out Miami of Ohio going up against Ohio, took the over in that game. I took the over in the Magic Hawks game. And producer Matt took an alternate Duke spread at minus 5.5. I really like Duke at minus 6.5 as well. They should cover the 10.5, but just with it being first game of the season with freshmen out there, you saw how Duke looked in the first couple of the games last season they had against regular opponents. All them freshmen out there turning the ball over. When they lost the game, they lost 2 or 3 games in a row right in crunch time. Just because you got a younger coach going out there with younger guys, they're still all learning how to do it, right? And that is the one thing you get scared about that number. If it's like a 15, 14-point game at the end, what Texas looks like, how hard they're playing, if Duke's fouling or not, that's the one thing I worry, just because I do think that it's going to end right in that 9, 10, 11, 12-point range. But I ultimately, though, I do like it. I do think that Duke wins. I do think they win by more than 10, right around, like I just said, 10 points. So I'm with you there, JR. I don't typically like betting college basketball early, fellas. I like live betting college basketball early, if I'm being honest. That's kind of the first couple of weeks of college basketball. I feel like you can get great live bets because some of the spreads aren't accurate. Some teams are projected to win by 28 points, 30 points. And you come out, and in the first 6 minutes of the game, the score's 12-8. The team projected to lose by 30 is only down 4 points after 5-6 minutes of play. they're not about to lose by 24 now or 25 now that the line's only shifted 3 points. They've clearly been able to defend. They've been able to get stops. I do know that depth plays a big role in a lot of these big spreads as well, because top teams, when they go to the bench plays are better than what a lot of what the matchups they've got out there are still. But with that being said, fellas, I do think that there's still a good room for live betting those live spreads, like those plus spreads when the opposition teams looks a lot better than projected coming out of the gates. The books don't want to shift that number too much from what they started, though, because you're naturally going to think first game, the team that you're projected to win is just getting off to a slow start. And usually that can be the case, though. Some of the big lines, though, I feel like you can get good live betting numbers. That's kind of where I stand. I wait till you see these teams start playing teams that are actually quality opponents, though, like you mentioned, though, JR. With that being said, though, tonight, JR, given you only like the one game, is there anything you like specifically tonight, Curtis?
So I did take one play tonight. It's a Florida State, their team total over 89.5. I believe I was late to the party. I know their spread. When I looked last night, it was 20.5, minus 20.5. And then shot up to 27.5. So not sure if somebody's out for Alcorn State or maybe the books just knew they set the lines wrong. I'm not sure what happened, but I think Florida State, whether they cover this or not, the point spread, I think they'll be able to put up at least 90 points. You saw them both for the exhibition games, one against Bama, where they put up, 100 plus, and then follow that with like a 95-point outing. I know it's exhibition, but I think they'll be able to score some points here on, Alcorn State. So yeah, that's my one of my official punches from, college basketball tonight.
I like it. It has moved. I've seen 91.5. This is a team, though, that I don't even know how you phrase this. I've been trying to put people on notice that they're not going to be a bottom feeder, terrible ACC team. They're actually going to be a team that can play and get up and down the floor with some athleticism. Not sure what that is there.
Sorry about that.
No, you're all good. Is it Oh, I'm getting it as well here.
Yeah, I believe there was some plane issue that.
Talk for me here, fellas.
There was a plane crash at Louisville.
The airport. Yeah, SDF, I believe. So.
Alarm off here on the live airways. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I saw this on a couple messages. Obviously not looking in the group chat, but I keep seeing messages pop up about something to do with planes. And now, I'm looking in here. A buddy of mine works at UPS. He's there right now. He just sent a video of a plane crash. A buddy of mine texting me plane crash now as well. That's sad stuff. Hope everyone's okay out at UPS right now in that day shift crew. You never like to hear anything like that. Obviously, with it being UPS, typically means it wasn't a passenger plane if it's crashing at UPS, probably. So that's good, but hopefully nobody got hurt there. That's crazy news happening right now in Louisville. Fellas, I do want to get some official punches out. So are you going to call that an official punch, or are you just taking a jab at that FSU play, though, here, Curtis?
No, we can go official punch.
And are we going to go official JR as well on the 10 points for Duke?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so 2 official punches starting off the show here today for the college basketball slate. I'm going to be honest, I don't have an official punch. I did go 3-1 last night in official punches on yesterday's show. I had a pretty great day. We took Syracuse minus 21.5. We hit that. Even after their shooting guard went down in like the first 3 minutes of the game, I'm a Kyan Anthony believer. Right, I knew he was going to play good minutes in this game. He ended up having to play heavy starter minutes because he is like the backup combo guard. And he had a pretty great outing, 15 points, I believe, played well off the ball, created some shots on the ball. And Syracuse, I believe, is going to be one of those teams that rises up the ACC rankings, helps the ACC look a little bit better from that middle of the pack, maybe even that 7-8 range, if not better. Nathan George, the running back. Point guard from Georgia Tech last season, led the ACC in assists per game, is the Syracuse point guard this season. So I think that's going to be an offense that should be pretty good this season. I like the Nathan George kid. We missed on the Bucks minus 5.5 last night. They get the win. Unfortunately, they don't cover for us, which was an alternate, right? I alternated that down. I believe it was an 8.5 or 9.5. I took 5.5. They only win by 2. We hit the PJ Washington 6.5 rebounds. No Anthony Davis out there. Somebody's got to get him. PJ goes crazy with the double-double, 29 points, 12 rebounds, I believe, if I'm remembering that correctly. easily covering that 7+ rebounds. And then we hit the Jake Ferguson 40+ yards. I said it, Curtis, was the only thing I liked in that game. He covers that with the 50+, but Dallas just not performing like we thought they were going to last night. And that's the NFL. That's been the NFL this season. I feel like every team has had a game like that. That's not what that game was supposed to look like. And that's fun though. I think that's what you want the NFL to be, not necessarily for the sake of betting. Makes our lives a little bit harder sometimes when it comes down to the primetime games. But as a neutral NFL fan who likes not being certain what the end of the season is going to look like, I love the way that the parity's shaped up so far in the NFL this season. Fellas, I like those two official punches for tonight. I'm going to make my pick in the producer parlay from the Mike Rutherford show today because I had to host it. Mike wasn't in, so I've been on there since 2 o'clock here. I'm going to take that Hawks Magic over 229.5 as my official punch, first official punch here for tonight. And here's why. The Hawks are the 6th fastest team in the NBA in pace. The Magic, the 5th fastest team in pace in the NBA. Fellas, when 2 top 5 type of pace teams play, always the over-under is usually over a 235, a 236, a 237. 229, and it opened up at 227 or 228, I believe. And I get that these two, the Magic, on their day, can be one of the best defensive teams in the NBA. And that's why out of the faster-paced teams, you typically see the Magic lines a little bit lower. I still think this is just a little bit too low with the Magic being the away team. No Trae Young. It's kind of whoever offense out there for the Hawks, which has worked. They've been able to get points sustainingly, just not consistently with certain rotations because the rotations have all been jambled now. I do like this over 229, though. I think this is going to be a very up-and-down game, a lot of three-point shots, a lot of quick possessions, right, because you don't have a Trae Young. So that first option, I believe, for the Hawks is going to get the shot attempt up a lot tonight, which I think is going to lead to a lot of open play for both teams. Got to make the shots. That's the one thing about the overs is you gotta. The pace might be right there, but if they're not making the shots within that pace, it doesn't matter at all. I still do think that they're going to get to that 229.5 mark. That's going to be my first official punch tonight for me. Also, obviously, the first official punch of the show in the NBA tonight. JR, what do you like in the NBA tonight? I know this is enough games for you to probably have a few things over there in the Duffy. What are you looking at in the NBA here for us?
I'll stay away from my parlay here. My first one was Joel Embiid over 19.5 points. He's supposed to get a little bit more tick tonight. So I think with them playing, I believe, Chicago, that he always perks up against them. So I'm very interested in that line over 19.5 there. My second leg will be Gary Trent Jr. over 2.5 threes, minus 113. He's been shooting pretty well. He's getting an uptick in minutes tonight from everything that I dove into. And then I had 2 other lines. Jimmy Butler over 19.5 for minus 113. And Shea over 29.5, minus 135. It dipped a little bit, then it came back, and then I like Dyson Daniels over 4.5 assists. So those will be my current plays. I'll probably push out some more between now and when the rest of the injury reports get released here in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, that is the one, like we've mentioned before now, really tough spot in the 5:30 to 6 time with the NBA is that guys who are game time decisions all day are now not on the slate sometime between 5:30 and 6. You're not getting that certainty sometimes till like 6:30 even.
I know Melo's out, so be careful. I still saw lines for him available on FanDuel, ScamDuel sometimes.
Is that why the Pelicans are favored to get their first win tonight?
Yep,
of course.
But Zion is out as well, I believe.
Yeah, hamstring injury.
Yeah, so that game is going to be crazy. But
who's the better team without those 2 players playing? I mean, the better roster is still technically the Pelicans, but them young Hornets been hoping, fellas.
Yeah, I like if the Hornets can shoot well. Like if it was at Hornets, I would take probably Hornets just because they have a little bit better shooting. But I feel like the Pelicans will go as Trey Murphy goes. If he's on tonight, then they'll get rocking. But I think it's a coin toss. I believe the odds were like minus 115 apiece right now. So it's a double-edged sword, really.
And the Pelicans, like, they haven't been bad.
Yeah.
That's been the weird thing about their 0-6 is that, I mean, they've had a couple games. You shouldn't be losing to the Celtics on your home floor when you're fully healthy. If you're able to score 124 points in a basketball game, that night you're able to beat anybody, and you're not able to beat the Clippers. You're not getting enough defensive stops. But ultimately, this team, when they're hitting threes, they can really put some points up on the board. They just don't get enough consistent defensive play. I feel like Jordan Poole addition has helped them immensely offensively, but not having a DeJounte Murray, fellas, more Poole minutes guarding guys he can't guard. And that's kind of been the case for that. Herb Jones and Trey Murphy have been excellent, but it's just a matter of who's going to hit more threes, really, I feel like, in this kind of a matchup. I just think that 0-6, like, you got to get a first win eventually. That first win has to come eventually. Tonight, no LaMelo. Who picks up the ball handling slack? I believe there's no Brandon Miller still, right, as well. Yeah. And, I feel like that's an opportunity for Trey Murphy to go make something happen. Because he should be able to, whoever he's guarding tonight is going to have a rough night. On the home floor, Pelicans crowd still coming out. I like the Pelicans to get a win here. That's just a jab for me tonight. Obviously, I'm never going to pick a team that hasn't won a game an official punch. But with that being said, you can't go 0-82.
The line has moved to -148, so there is a little bit more favoritism for the
Pelicans. It was like -120 earlier.
Yeah, they're rocking, but that Charlotte plus almost plus 3 points right now looks really good as well.
Curtis, how are you feeling about the NBA slate tonight? And what official punches do you have, if any?
Yeah, so I'll drop 2 official punches. I like Tyrese Maxey over 11.5 rebounds and assists. He's averaging 14 rebounds and assists on the season. He's got this every game except for their first game this season. 76ers and Bulls, 2 kind of fast-paced teams, which I think is just going to lead to a lot of rebounds, a lot of, open shots. And, Maxey, the Sixers go as Maxey goes. This is his team now, kind of over Embiid's, due to his, injury, factor. So I'm slightly concerned because Jared McCain, he does come back this season, but I don't think right away. He hasn't played in like almost a year. So I don't think he's going to, just eat into all of Maxey's minutes right off the bat. So I do still like this as an official punch. And for my second one, I wish I would have waited on this. It's James Harden under 21.5 points. I should have waited till Kawhi was ruled out because, as we know, he's not playing back-to-backs this season. So once Kawhi was ruled out, this did go up to 23.5. which is what I would have played it at. But it's back down to 21.5. And that's due to the fact that Thunder, they just lock up the opposing guards. Like, since last year, no guards, really go off for, big scoring nights against them. And, I still like this that Kawhi is out because, they can key in and focus on, Harden, send double teams, so he's just not, killing you out there. So James Harden under 21.5 points. I got this at -106 on FanDuel. So, yeah, I love both of those.
I like those too. Something else you're about to add, JR?
Yeah, I was going to say I just saw this before this gets taken out. Miles Bridges for 1.5 assists, plus 135.
2 assists at plus 135 with no LaMelo on the floor?
Yeah, one of the main ball handlers. I love that.
Yeah. He's going to get the ball even more tonight.
Yeah.
And it may just be a delayed line.
Miles Bridges at over 1.5 assists?
No, sorry. Outlier has that for first quarter.
Okay, I was going to say
that. Yeah, I was looking at it. I was like, this is too good to be true here. I was like, wait a minute. Why is this plus money? I was like, maybe minus, but yeah, no.
All right, fellas. I mean, this is kind of wrapping us up here, bringing us out to the outro. We've got some official punches. I did get the one official punch in. I don't. This isn't a jab I like. The Bucks have already beat Toronto in Toronto. I don't see anybody significant. Like Giannis's game time decision, he's gonna play.
Yeah, I got Bucks plus on a slip that I just took probably a couple minutes ago.
They were opened up at 3.5. dogs, still 3.5 dogs now. I mean, I like them on the money line here straight up. Not anybody out for the Raptors either important. Jakob Poeltl's going to be back tonight, which is, a tower to put in front of Giannis, but we've seen Giannis handle Poeltl already before. I like the Bucks to get a win here again in Toronto.
Y'all think they're tired off the back-to-back after the game winner?
Nah, not at all.
And got to travel again?
That'd be all right. They got Milwaukee plus 3.5, minus 112 on DK, and minus 122 on FanDuel. That's what I picked earlier.
The traveling again from Indiana to Toronto, that's no one likes that, right? But in terms of
it's a first-class plane, private jet, feet kicked up, best physical therapist.
That game's sitting at 237, meaning they think the Raptors are going to put some points on the board tonight. I just think that if it's a high-scoring affair like that and the game's close, it's going to go Giannis's way. Yeah. Usually does.
I would take the plus 3 points or plus 4 points.
I should have grabbed their team total or take a look at that before we got out of here, but I don't think we have much time. Yeah, we got about 30 seconds before we get out of here. I'll go ahead and make that plus 3.5, my other official punch here for tonight with that Hawks Magic over. Fellas, this is going to wrap us up here, though, on the Ticket Punchers. Let's go punch some tickets.
Punch those tickets.
Oh. All right, fellas. Great show. Shout out to our viewers here on the stream, both on Real Spiel YouTube and the Big X YouTube, tuning in, listening to us here. And we are going to go get those punches on the Twitter, like we mentioned, at ticket_punchers. Fellas, anything else you guys want to add before we get out of here today?
No, that's all I got. I'll get more in tune for tomorrow. I'm still getting my feet under me for this week, but I'll probably take some live bets tonight on X. I've been slacking on the NBA Live, but I feel like we got enough games under our belt to kind of know how people are going to play. So I'll try to push out a couple live ones, but that's all I got.
Let's do it. Let's go do it.
What you got, Kurt?
Yeah, I'm just going to say I was going to do some probably early line reading for this NFL game tonight and tomorrow morning and try to, hop on some early lines. So, yep.
Good deal.
Oh, yeah, we've got NFL, Broncos, Raiders.
Jeez.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Ugly game. All good. I thought all the 3 primetime games this past week were all ugly. So, geez.
Yeah. I think that trend is going to continue.
For a little bit. They know they know when to schedule them. Like they know what time of the season to put the ugly ones and what time to put the fun ones. When the family gatherings all start come Thanksgiving.
The next good slate we're gonna have is probably Thanksgiving. That's probably it. The rest
this Sunday and Monday though we got Steelers and Chargers and then Green Bay and Eagles on Monday. So
Green Bay and Eagles that should be
fireworks.
Yeah.
Steelers and Chargers shouldn't be bad. Yeah. But 44, that total sitting at 44.5. So telltale sign, kind of. Yeah. They think there's going to be some punting in that game.
Yeah.
Which there always is. But
after the Colts debacle, I mean, it's only fair to give the Steelers defense a little praise.
Mm-hmm.
They're moving Jalen Ramsey to safety, which I'm interested to see how that goes. I feel like he's about to get 3 targeting calls in the first quarter.
I could see that.
Yeah, but Sauce Gardner, a Colt, Quentin Williams,
man,
Dallas Cowboy.
I love the Sauce Gardner.
Big trades. My Ravens made a move at the deadline. I don't even know who dude is, but we're gonna figure out.
They needed to go get Quentin Williams. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I don't think EDC. I don't think wants to give him the biggest defensive tackle contract in history. Ravens ain't that type of franchise. If it was a linebacker, maybe, but not no defensive tackle. We already did that with Madubuike, and his.
You don't need to do it twice.
His neck is messed up on the bench collecting too much money. So, but that's all I got, fellas. I'm gonna get back in here and finish out my work day.
All right, fellas. Let's chat later. Chat tomorrow.
All right.